Wow. Wow. I mean, what can I even say? This is game one of this best of three between BratOK and Guru. To the bottom right hand side from Cascade, our red Terran player. It's BratOK. A bright green Zerg player from Is Imber. Give it up for Guru. Game one of this best of three. Interested to see how this is going to go, of course. As these are kind of two players who... when we talked about Guru earlier, I think Guru comes into this match favoured, but he's one of the players that could qualify for Challenger, but isn't like, you know, it's not like someone like Cyril, who we look at in these brackets like, who the hell is going to stop Cyril? Guru definitely could fall in these brackets, and BratOK is the sort of guy who we maybe don't quite expect to qualify, but definitely could. So it's kind of interesting to see these two players clashing, because this one could go either way really in this TVZ. Starting up on Honor Grounds here. Vertical Spawn is going to be kind of nice for the Terran player. But that said, again, it's going to be an interesting series in general. I think I actually don't really know which way to call this. Has anyone in the chat got any ideas? Anyone feeling anyone in particular? Let me know. I want to hear your guys' thoughts as we set up into this first game of the best of three. So setting up into this, getting ready to rumble. Getting ready to go. As we have the first SCV just coming to scout up towards the upper right hand side. So just a little bit of a scout going down. Nothing really too crazy or interesting about that. Just gonna be seeing the SCV, yeah, scouting around, seeing what's up, seeing what's good in the early stages of game number one. TVZ, I mean, one of my favorite matchups to know about you guys. But I've always loved a bit of TVZ, and Guru especially. I know he's got a bit of that, you know, one hotkey, F2 all army hotkey syndrome, but I still find it very fun to watch this guy play, because he does generally play with a lot of counterattacks and with big amounts of swarming units, and it can be kind of fun to watch the Terran player trying to, you know, get away from all of that and to fight against it, and so on and so on and so on, you know. As we do have the SV coming back home, is replaced in the upper right by the Reaper, of course. And that Reaper just going to start working his way through a couple of these Zerglings. Actually, a blast from that grenade. Going to continue to run around, loop around in circles, actually. As we do see the Reaper still just moving around here. So Reaper just hopping around. We'll hop down to the low ground. We see the CC about to start up, about to finish up, sorry, in the main base. And that's very standard. Ooh, we're going to have the new Hellion skin coming on for BratOK here. Looks a bit weird, doesn't it, in the production tab? Looks very weird, in fact. BratOK, one of these players who will play anything. He'll play bio, he'll play mech, he'll play whatever he feels is best for him, you know. And obviously, I mean, a lot of players should play whatever they feel is best, but I feel BratOK isn't afraid to play multiple styles, is what I'm saying, you know. He's not afraid to say, hey, this is a really great mech map, so let's play mech here. Whereas some players will just play bio every game in the TVZ if that's what they've been practicing lately. And see the Reaper just sitting over to the corner and actually will push around and try and see what's going on. A couple of Hellions going to dive at the same time, so BratOK looking for some multi-pronged aggression to get damage done. He picks off one drone in the natural. Meanwhile, in the main, two more drones going down already. That's going to be a third, and he's lining up for a fourth potentially, and a fifth now. Good damage being done in the early stages by BratOK. For two Hellions and the Reaper, he gets 5 drone kills, which is pretty okay. And it just keeps Guru guessing, just keeps him moving on around as the next two Hellions moving out onto the map and looking to see where they can go. So these two Hellions going to come up in towards the center. And you're going to see the Zerglings there from Guru going to be continue to pull up. Raven on the way out from BratOK as well. So just setting up into this. And the Raven coming on in and just going to be seen at the same time being this from Guru. So just getting ready for a potential bigger follow-up attack, maybe with an armory for Hellbats or so on. Guru wants to make sure he's not just going to be stuck with pure Zergling if that is the sort of situation he runs into here. As a couple of Hellions going to try and fight this creep teamer. Will get it apparently, as Guru not quite paying attention to pull his Queens forwards to get much more damage onto the Hellions, which he could have done. Still a bit of a lost opportunity there, actually, as you see again. Hellions roasting a little bit here and there. Queen or two taking a little bit of damage, and just this overload of Guru pulling away in towards the main base, trying to scout and figure out what the follow-up is. Two Widowmines burrow though, and so Guru doesn't see any of the production before that, well, overall gets brutally blown up. As we have a couple of Queens still just trying to expand the creep down the south side of the map and to move in towards this Terran players' kind of quadrant of honor grounds here. RX Grim in the chat saying Guru. As the player he thinks is going to win this. Arius MM, dude, what's up? How you doing today? Says, think BratOK will have this. Terran Supremacy. Has been an interesting first couple of minutes of the game. I mean, not too much going on. A little bit of harassment here and there. But we are heading in towards what is a very standard mid-game scenario with Lingbane Muta going up against what's about to be Widowmine Bio Medevac. 1-1 upgrade started at a very similar time as well. So really, he is just straight up super stand stuff to get us rolling in this. As a Widowmine does a little bit of damage here. Another Widowmine to the left-hand side. Goes off in an Overlord rather than the few Zerglings to guarantee kills. Meanwhile, some Zerglings actually do sneak in towards the main base. Hellions out of position, so this could be a good little bit of damage. One Marine will go down. Another SCV built in the racks. He should hit the mineral line, which is just easily, much more easily accessed SCVs more so than anything. He's going to go for this now, and you can see how much faster he's going to get damage done this mineral line. But he comes in to do that too late, although he does get surrounded, picks off one more Hellion. Actually, in general, Guru doing so much damage with this. Oh my god, Moore's SCV is getting so low. As if 12 workers killed by, 7 workers killed by Guru. BratOK actually killed a few more with the Raven auto turret in the meanwhile. And I guess maybe that's what Guru was paying attention to. Maybe other than kind of looking after the Zerglings and maybe making the most out of them and jumping on the mineral line a bit faster. Wow, a little bit of a hectic moment or so there, then, especially if BratOK was killing workers on the other side of the map at the same time. These things somehow managed to sneak through the first Widowmine, but they traitor the other Zerglings there, and a 13-kill mine is something which Guru will be very, very happy about, and another Widowmine gets a kill or two as those Zerglings decide to pull back to the other side. Those couple of stray Widowmines very frustrating at the moment, and definitely forcing a couple of mistakes out of Guru and getting some value where you might not have usually expected it, as Guru does opt for the 4th hatchery on the far right side of this, meaning that he is expanding towards the Terran player. Now, right away, that's not an issue, but if the Terran decides to try and take this gold base, then their bases are going to be very close to each other. I mean, the base is still much more easily pushed now for the Terran than if he, say, took his own gold base up here or something. But I guess what do you really do? If you don't have the time to get rid of these rocks, then all of a sudden, you've got to take this base, otherwise you're just going to be without a 4th base, and if you don't have a 4th base, then you're in a lot of trouble, right? Lings and Banes, oh, another Widowmine shot. 18 kills on this one Widowmine at the frontier now. 2 Banelings will go off to clean it up, and be seeing still the 13-kill Widowmine in the back as you see some Hellbats moving forwards now as well. Looking to see what they can get up to, and looking to see if they can push on in towards this mineral line. And again, it's we've seen this 4th base. It's just going to be a very highly contested point of the map, this right-hand side. And meanwhile, we do see a Viking killing off an Overlord, and we see the Raven here with some auto turrets available, try and kill off some more of these drones on the natural expansion. So that's a possibility here as well. Have to keep our eyes on that section of the minimap as you do see BratOK with a group of units going to continue moving up the right side. Here comes the Raven, double auto turret on the far right. Not sure how I feel about the double auto turret in the same place, because it feels as though, yeah, it kills workers quickly, but the workers can pull away from it. If you drop one here and one there, then there's less space for the workers to run to. And that could be a bit more, I guess it could get a bit more done. And as we're going to be seeing the Lings and Banes still just gathering up together here from Guru. As, yeah, just gathering up together, joining everything up. And we see Marines, Hellbats, Widowmine still pushing the front. The fact he still has the early game Hellions in the game is pretty crazy, right? I mean, it's really going to help him with these pushes. Even if they just soak 4 or 5 Banes, that's 4 or 5 less Banes rolling in towards all of these Marines here. Although right away, Widowmine's going to start doing a pretty decent job. Widowmine's get some very good connections. Until that one in the back there doesn't connect him too much. Somehow that Baneling just about survived on 1 HP to the Widowmine splash. Don't think I've ever seen that before. Baneling surviving on low health after a Widowmine connection. That's insane. We're going to see another Widowmine or two going off. Oh, the Medevac's getting very low there as BratOK does just opt to lift and back away a little bit. Reinforcements starting to stream on forwards here, and he will take a good fight initially against a few of those Zerglings. And will now try and continue pushing forwards as Viking does get taken down. Looks as though the Raven got taken down at some point as well. Don't see it on the map any longer, as now a couple of Liberators joined into play. Actually going to see Guru building Hydras, which is a very interesting follow-up to this at this point. I mean, what do Hydras bring to this army? I'm really not too sure, if I'm going to be completely honest. Actually see the Liberators doing a good job against some initial Banes. Now there's only one Baneling left, and all of a sudden BratOK has much better access to just keep on pushing forwards here. Queens are dropping. Zerglings will run forwards again once more. There's just so many Marines, though, and you can see the Zerglings have melted. I mean, 2-2's about to kick in from either side, but I don't think it's going to matter. Now these Hydras are on their own, and they're going to disappear, and BratOK is going to pick up game number 1. This Guru is going to pause and unpause. I mean, it doesn't really make a difference, because he's going to GG out straight away afterwards. skin over the entire race rather than just like a single unit or something, you know? Anyways, let's go in game. Let's introduce some players. Bottom left-hand side from Cascade, our red Terran player. Give it up if you're going to be cheering on BratOK. His opponent in the bottom right is going to be the green Zerg from Imber. Down a game, can he bounce back? It is Guru. Alright then, so setting up, looking to get this rolling. As we set this up. So, let's roll away and see how this will go. Barracks on the way up from BratOK. A CV coming through the south side of the map. So, again, right away, nothing too crazy. It's New Cook Precinct, a map which is pretty macro-friendly, of course. A map which we could see some mech on if BratOK wants to change things up, although honestly, with how well the bioplay worked out in game number 1, probably not much need for that. I think the interesting thing so far is the fact that Guru went for Hydras in that last game. Like, at what point did that make sense, going for Hydras? You know, it's like I look at it, I'm sort of like, it's a weird follow-up to Ling Bane to then go Hydras, like in ZvT at least, you know. Interested to see if he tries it again. I would love to see him try it again and for it to work out for him, obviously, because that would make it super interesting, actually. If we could kind of get a chance to really see how exactly it's meant to work, I suppose. Did you just see the first Reaper popping in and just going to start harassing around? Guru already dropping down the third hatchery nice and quickly. His Queen's about to pop Lings too. And we're just going to be seeing a little bit of trading here. A little bit of skirmishing between Reaper and Lings. Ooh, one Ling does go down. Guru pulling that way just a little bit too late. And as we see the Reaper coming down the low ground. Bunker will actually finish up on the third, but all that's really going to do is maybe force... make it a bit more difficult, I suppose, to kind of get rid of the bunker. It may force some Queens to come down, but it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Unless the Hellions join up in time to really make it an issue and keep the push on the third base very powerful. But I can't imagine the bunker adds that much to this. And there's going to be seeing the Queens coming down, and yeah, I guess you're just going to drop a creep gym. I mean, does he want to start fighting this right away? I don't see why not. It's not like one Reaper does a lot of damage to these Queens. A few more Lings being made at the moment. The Hellions are coming now, and I wonder if, well, I guess one way BratOK could use this is just the bunker as a distraction on the third base to run the, to run the kind of Hellions by into the natural once again, pretty much like he did in the last game. Got the Hellions into the natural and then hit the main base mineral line with the Hellions. So, could be looking for something similar. In fact, it pretty much will. It actually even salvages the bunker, keeping it alive. And those Hellions have free reign now over the natural mineral line. And look at this, 2 workers already. The drone's stacking up. Guru! You do not want to keep those stacked up, buddy. 3 workers going down. Lings are still slow. No Ling speed for whatever reason. It's once again going to be 5 workers killed unless he can get one more shot. 5 workers and a few Lings as well. It's worthwhile. It's good. It's solid. Creep spreading out as well, and some more drones just continue to come on into play. Signal Marine chasing down this Overlord. So Overlord taking some damage, and you see third CC just dropping down at the front of the natural as well. Another supply depot will begin to build. And there's one Zerglin going down as it tries to run up this ramp into the natural. So Zerglin getting shot down there. So Overlord just about managing to squeeze away and survive as a Rotron comes down nice and quickly. And maybe Guru is going to change things up massively for himself here. As he will perhaps look to go towards a Roach-based playstyle rather than Ling Bane. Which can make sense. I mean, it works as well. We see Snoot quite oftentimes favouring a Roach Ravager-based composition rather than Ling Bane Muta. I would imagine that Roach Hydra would work out a bit better than Ling Bane Hydra, like Guru is trying in game number 1. Still an Overlord just positioned just to the right-hand side here. Roach is continuing to build on up as well. Actually, a lot of roaches. I mean, that's the other possibility, right? That he just doesn't really continue with drones. He just goes for a big all-in to try and win this game in the next few moments. But hey, one siege tank up. He's got a full wall at the front. And he's got another tank building. So he's going to have 2 tanks by the time this roach attack hits. Guru is already transitioning away from a kind of a heavily committed attack, I guess. With some more drones coming on up here. And the Hellions even seen these roaches now as well. It's going to be a pretty good indicator that he just has to sort of sit back a little bit and get ready to defend for a few more moments, rather than continuing to attack on forwards. Well, here we go. Roaches coming through the south side of the map. Hellions coming in towards the top here from BratOK. They're going to try and look to loop around, come down the right-hand side, and hit in towards this mineral line, in towards these Zerglings, and just do something along those lines in general. Tank's on fire, and again with double tank here, it's going to be very difficult for Guru to break this. He did make around more drones, and then obviously went back into unit production, but now he's actually going back into drones once more. He's going to need to, because Hellions are currently roasting away his mineral line. Another 5 workers killed in this natural mineral line. This natural is not the place to be mining as a drone today, because this is the second time there has been an emergency, which has caused an evacuation. These drones, man, they need to get some better fire safety hazards, because Hellions just keep on burning them up in that middle line. I guess they could just keep on dying, that's one way, but better to learn your lesson. Guru losing a few workers there, and obviously again overall, because he committed to a larger attack but then didn't actually commit to doing anything, he didn't do any damage, and because he hasn't done any damage, now he's sort of in that weird spot where he's fallen behind. He doesn't have any upgrades, for example. He's going to be on a much later layer than he should be, so he doesn't have roach speed for a long time. And those are all advantages which are just going to be very, very, very beneficial to BratOK. And that's going to really help him to just push on through. And remember, he's 1-0 in this best of 3. If he wins the second game, he is through to the round of 16 of this open qualifier. And that could change a lot. It could change a lot. As we see Zerglings just running over to the right-hand side here. Roaches and a few Ravagers as well. Looking to see what they can get up to at this point. Stimpack's about halfway done from BratOK as well. I'm still just seeing Siege Tanks continue to set on up, continue to get ready to defend. A few more Ravagers morphing on in now as well. Over to the right-hand side. +2 weapons starts up from BratOK. I mean, again, the upgrade lead is kind of insane at this point. And I mean, he's setting up into a whole bunch of Siege Tanks against a Roach-based army. I hate it to be kind of boring and kind of dull, but Guru's going to have a really tough time against this, and I look at it right now and I wonder what he does do against. I mean, what do you do about it? Just sit back and wait? Probably his best option. I don't think you can attack into those tanks. I think he's probably doing the right thing, going into the infestation pick and try and maybe add a couple of infestors on. Might even just start up the hive already to get in towards the Vipers, which will be a crucial part of his composition later in this game. As a couple of medevacs will be pushed back, Guru at least making use of this army in the sense that he's going to take some map control. That's something you can make use of this. Again, I mean, BratOK's not looking to attack until 2-2 in combat shield, so about a minute away. He'll maybe think about moving out. But until then, Guru can keep map control, he can keep the creep spread up, so that push out will be more difficult for BratOK, for example. I'm going to use these lings here now to clean up a single marine, which is just scouting around, trying to pick up info too, and again, a few units going to stem forwards at the front, scan coming down. Actually, quite a bit of this creep will be cleaned out, while meanwhile, 2 medevacs heading towards the main. And it's a nice little kind of double-pronged aggression here in the sense that it's very low cost and it's going to be very effective because he doesn't really have to commit in towards the main, but it does force a reaction out of Guru, which makes it way more difficult for Guru to really, to stay at the front and to push back the Marines and the Marauder, which are trying to pick up some creep kills over there. Medevac's lifted up again, and they are once more going to be looking for an opening here. As you can see, one more Medevac lifting, loading, heading up to the northern side of the map. Roaches, Lings, and a few Infestors gathering up towards this top side too. And, yeah, a couple more Liberators just on the way out from BratOK then. So a couple more Liberators on the way out. Hive is about 45-50%-ish of the way done. And you mentioned that before. I think the Vipers are the next stage of this from Guru. He did add on a few Infestors. I mean, a few Fungals can go a long way, but Vipers are really going to be the next stage of this. However, that's a nice Fungal growth. Corrosive Bars combo, and 2 Medevacs go down. Obviously, the units have no way to retreat, therefore, and so they go down pretty quickly as well, as BratOK still does set back. Adding on Liberators against this, I'm not too sure about, because it feels as though Liberators are very easily dealt with by Ravagers. You know, you just drop a couple of bars in the right position, and boom, those Liberators, they're just not going to last long enough to be efficient, effective, and whatever else. And we'll see the Medevac coming up top side, and again, a few Marines up inside of this, looking to see what they can keep on getting done. as this game continues. Two Liberators to the left now. BratOK again just looking around, looking to see if he's got any opportunities to get further damage here. +3/+3 coming down from BratOK too. I mean, he knows that one of the advantages he has in this game is upgrades, and he's going to keep on rolling with those. As Guru does switch in towards the Ultra's Cavern, +1 melee as well, and I mean, it's like we said, I mean, we're talking about how does Guru get back in this game? What does he do to kind of make up for this committed attack that didn't do anything? And the reality is he just sort of sat back and said, hey, I got lots of units, are you scared to fight into me? And BratOK's kind of like, yeah, I am a little bit, and so Guru's like, cool, then don't fight into me, give me the time to do what I want, and that so far is what BratOK has done. Now he's maxed out, he is going to start pushing forward. Some Lings and Roaches will get ready to counter. There's a few units over here. In fact, a much larger army now getting set to maybe not counter, maybe just wrap around the siege tanks. No, he is going to counter. So he's going to start running on in. There's a lot of Zerglings to work with, and BratOK's wall is down. What does he do to respond against this? Well, I don't actually know what he does to respond against this effectively. You haven't seen though, 2-2 against 1-1 is so far very effective at cleaning up a lot of these Lings. However, BratOK will be able to make pressure happen of his own. I mean, he's pushing forwards, and this base is going to go down right away. And that's a lot of army supply to be missing for Guru across the map. And so, turning into a little bit of a base ready situation to begin with. Guru will look to turn around now as, he has to dodge the fungal groves. The first couple of fungals are pretty good, but not the best. You know, it's not like an, oh my god, fungals, money fungals, you know. It's not quite that, as we see. Ultra's going to be about to pop as well. Actually, it looks as though Guru is going to have what he needs to really just shut this down and to push this away to put him in a much better position. Scan on top of the army, and just going to be seeing a few Marines and Marauders still simming forwards here. Ultra's going to start running on in, and well, here he goes. Some units attack from the left, the rest from the right, and this sandwich that Guru has set up is beautiful. It turns out that the counterattack worked perfectly because he did good damage. He held off long enough to get those units back in the fight and for the Ultras to pop. And he makes this sandwich really, really effective. Yes, he lost a base, but he's got another one set up and ready to go. BratOK, while he didn't lose a base, did lose mining from it for a long time. So it's about even. You know, Guru obviously has to rebuild it, but at the same time, they're both going to get their mining back at a similar time. And so that's going to be great for Guru, because again, he just got that really good fight, and now he's going to push forwards. And now, you know what? There's not really going to be that much from BratOK at all. He loads up 2 medevacs to the northern side. Well, that just means he's got a very low number of units over here to work with, and Guru going to run straight on forwards. He's just going to start chasing in with these Ultras, and I mean, you can't really be surprised by it. A few of them going to take the charge and start tanking the rest, clean up the SCVs that are trying to mine away on this base. Crozabal is actually coming down on his own Ultras, not too sure what that's about, as we'll see the siege tank going down pretty quickly as well. Guru just has enough to keep on stomping forwards. These medevacs are not going to get anywhere useful. Queen's coming to push them back, Ultras in position to deal with any units that try to drop down. And still just pushing in at the front. Ultra count getting very, very low, but I mean, even these Ravagers and Reinforced Zerglings are going to be difficult to shut down at this sort of point in the game. A couple of Ultras even just working on the wall in the back. And wow, Guru. Wow, that's actually maybe even against WCS rules. Don't think BratOK will be happy about that one, as I don't know what to say. An offensive GG is very, is real bad. Wow. I mean, what do you say to that? Nothing, right? A couple of Ravagers continue to work their way through the natural expansion. You're going to see an Ultra coming in towards the third as well, and again, more units into the main as BratOK still trying to stim around, still just trying to stay alive. And there's GG called by BratOK at the end of this game, and that is going to be Guru taking third game. So jump on into this, to the bottom right hand side of the map, our green Zerg player from Isenberg. Give it up if you're cheering on Guru. His opponent in the upper left hand side, the red Terran player. It is going to be Cascades BratOK. The only thing, I mean, offensive GGs, guys. When you type out GG when you're obviously winning, it's pretty bad manner, and generally there's rules in WCS qualifiers that say you have to make sure you keep good sportsmanship and stuff. So, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's the only reason I really mentioned. I'm kind of shocked that he does it in a WCS qualifier, you know, that's kind of all. You know, I would say that, you know, typing out GG like that is very offensive. Like, to me, that's way more offensive than, like, manipuling or something, you know? So, I don't know. Anyways, let's go into this and see what will happen in our third game of this best of 3. Guru making it happen to tie things up and take it to a 1-1 situation. I mean, I do feel as though this is one of the better matchups in the round of 8. I feel as though it's one of the closer matchups in the round of 8, you know? One of these matchups we're probably expecting a nice, you know, a kind of a closer series. So, going to be interesting to see as the bracket moves along to see how things do keep on developing. Have a look to see who's getting along where. Actually, let me look at the brackets right now. Let's have a quick update, shall we? Just see how things are going, what's going on. We have got... okay, so Cyril is one of the few players in the round of 16 right now, alongside DNS and Optimus. DNS is potentially going to play Hero Marine in the next round, which would be pretty crazy. Outside of that, though, I mean, pretty standard stuff, I guess. A lot of round of 32 matches still ongoing, and that will determine a lot of the matches in the round of 16, of course. And then the round of 16 is just one match away from then qualifying, from the qualifying match, sorry. So, we're getting there. Obviously, Guru and BratOK right now, they are in the round of 32. The winner of this plays against Zanster in the round of 16. They do have Cyril and Shadow on their side of the bracket, though, which is going to be difficult to get through if they want to qualify here today. Again, how's everyone doing in the chat? We're on a 3-minute delay, guys. It's a little bit more difficult for me to talk to you than usual, but always interested to see what you're saying and to see who you're cheering on. And you never know, maybe 3 minutes from now, not much is going on. We can see what's happening in the chat. So do say hi, let me know what's up, let me know how you're feeling. Even if I can't shout you guys out, I do try and read a lot of the chat, so let me know how it's all going. As we just see this initial Reaper harassing around the third hatchery from our Zerg player already dropping down, coming up to being about halfway done. So third hatch is about halfway done already. And that's nice. I mean, just set it up into that nice and quickly, not really messing around with it or waiting around or anything along those lines. Just keeping things rolling here. As you do see the Reaper now going in towards the upper left-hand side to keep on seeing what's happening, I suppose. A couple of Hellions come down to the low ground, and BratOK with these couple of Hellions will be able to again just gather things together and just see if he can try and run by again, I guess. I mean, he's been doing this time and time again. Guru, though, 16 lings on the way. Don't think he wants to let this happen anymore. I think he's kind of sick of losing his workers in the early stages of the game, so going to be making enough lings to just shut that down nice and easily, nice and quickly, without really any issues at all. At least that's the goal. Is that a Hellion? What a weird sound. What a weird sound. The Hellions will dive in. 3 Hellions here. The magic number to one-shot a work, however. Lings are on point and they're going to shut this down quickly. Meanwhile, Lings counterattack. 1 Hellion going down already, and BratOK is in trouble, as we are going to be seeing SCVs continuing to drop. So, SCVs continue to go down at the moment. We're going to see a couple of them being chased up this ramp as well, and well, 6 workers killed. Morlin is going to pull in towards the upper left. Meanwhile, Vikings picked off an Overlord. But man, delaying the CC, killing off 6 workers is huge so far. As BratOK, a couple more Hellions on the way, will shortly be able to kind of push down this ramp into the Lings. But man, Guru, what a position he's going to take in the third game, and what a time to take a great position. He now goes straight into a lair, so no bait in the nest, no nothing, just a lair right away, and that's very suggestive of going in towards something very aggressive like a Spire or so. I wonder if BratOK wants to play mech this game, though. I mean, he's already going into like a Hellion Cloak Banshee setup, which can be mech, it can be bio as well, most definitely. I mean, it's one of those builds that's very versatile and can transition into either or. But it is kind of different how he's been opening previously with just a few Hellions in the third CC, etc. So, potential to play some mech here. We'll see if he takes the gases here very shortly on the low ground. Guru looks though he just wanted to go into a bit of a faster Spire, perhaps. Now just put his Bane Nest down for safety's sake. Probably just said, hey, I'm feeling safe right now, you know, I'm taking a good lead. Let's just get my lair up a bit faster, take advantage of that, and use it as a way to get into my Spire a little bit more quickly now. Get my meters up, perhaps, and just go from there. As the first Banshee comes across the map, Queen will pull away. Obviously, with a lair up, we will see an Overseer able to come on in. That Overseer will allow Guru to just be able to push the Banshee away, no matter where it is. I mean, one of the big limiting factors about fighting Cloak Banshees is the detection you have. Because it hits so early in the game, you're oftentimes not going to have that lair and an Overseer available. This time he will, though, and so you can push it back from any direction, even if he's away from Spore Crawlers. Which is nice, because you do have the mobile anti-air. It's kind of weird, you have the mobile anti-air as a, you know, with the Queens as a Zerg player, but you don't have the mobile detection until the lair is up, and so, despite the fact you've got really good anti-air, those Banshees can still be a massive pain in the ass for a long kind of for a long period in the games. Lings will run up the ramp here, and we're going to see a couple of depots already taking a bit of damage. One SCV picked off right away. And Guru will continue to come down towards the bottom right now. You'll see some Hellions down the left-hand side too. Looking to see what they can get up to. There's, what, 5 of them here, a couple going in the center. We are indeed seeing extra factory coming down, although we haven't actually seen extra gases taken yet by BratOK. Probably just the way in which it's been set up initially, and the way in which he got slowed down a little bit here in the earlier stages. But it does give us some good ideas as to how this is going as these Hellions do come down the right. And, well, 4th hatchery starting at the same time as a 5th hatchery too from Guru. And this Raven and the Banshee being pushed away by some Queens out at the front. Hellions going to start moving into Hellbats. Zerglin's going to jump onto them, but they are going to get roasted as soon as the Hellbats finish up. And that's where the Banes would come in a bit more useful. I say Banes, where are the Banes? I thought he made some Banes, but apparently not. I mean, Mutas come in through and they will help out, but still, I mean, losing a few Zerglings is costly. BratOK gets the scout on the Mutas at least, so now you can start to prepare against them a bit better back at home. Well, that said, his engineering bay isn't even finished just yet, and he will waste a little bit of time now running his way in towards the Banshee to try and pick this off nice and quick. No cloak was actually ever finished in this Banshee. And as a double order turret comes down, we'll obviously want to chase down the Raven too, so he's going to try and get that right away here. We'll turn and get the Banshee as well. So he's just splitting up his meters, but all of this is distractions. It's buying BratOK time to set up the engineering bay, which is now finished building, and now he can start to build his missile turrets in each of his mineral lines as well. So Guru can start setting up with that. And now you actually see him just pushing out onto the map with a few of these mutalisks. So Mutas coming out, going to be looking around. There's a Viking right here in the center, which he's going to start jumping onto. So Viking will start to take some further damage. It does fall now, and again, just going to keep on pushing up towards the upper left-hand side. Some Zerglings, the mutalisks. Let's see what he can do. Actually hops to the high ground, and oh, this 4 here right away is going to get a good couple of shots. Really damaging a couple of those mutas right there. As we're going to be seeing more Queens up to this top side. Looks like he wants to stack some injects on this hatchery, and then just start spreading some creep out in a couple of different directions. So, just starting to connect up this hatch as well. Guru's starting to really just own his own side of the map. I mean, can you blame him? You know, with the way this game has gone so far, it was a very good opening from Guru. He's taken the lead early, and now he's just going to keep on pushing that lead. And he's obviously, this is one of the best things he can do at this point. As you see, the Zerglings of Guru still running around, still seeing what they can get up to now. I'm going to actually look to maybe just engage on in Hellions. In position, though. I mean, that's the problem with these Lings. They're not going to be that valuable at this stage of the game because they're just not good against mech at all. They'll be good for run-bys, they'll be good for hitting locations that BratOK maybe isn't paying attention to, etc. But in straight-up fights, he needs those roaches. And he has made the roach run. He's started up 1-1 missile upgrades. He's going into an infestation pit now, too. And he's going to have to cancel those Banes, though, because the Hellions will eventually just kill them all off. Even if they finish, they're just going to get roasted down as they try to roll away. So, Banes have to cancel right there. You see an overload to the top side from Guru, and again some creep pushing out through the center of Guru as well. An overload out in the far middle. And this overseer as well, just having a little bit of a check around to see what's up and what's happening. And keep on running away over to the right-hand side. May as well take a chance to try and pick off a couple of these Hellions, but and that's where those 4s and Vikings are going to come into use. There's a lot more Banes coming up. Guru is really serious about just overwhelming this army with one real kind of burst of power. And just cleaning up from there. I mean, that's kind of crazy. It's a very risky way to play because if it doesn't quite work for him, then he's going to fall behind in the sense that he just doesn't have a very sustainable army. So this could be interesting. Picks off a few Hellions to begin with, though. It's definitely a good way to start things out. And so here we go then. Mutas, Zerglings coming up the top side. Some Banes and Roaches as well from the right. Pushing forwards and looking to see how things will happen. One unit gets picked off, and we're going to see these Lings and Mutas coming up the ramp, and well, an SCV goes down. You're going to see the missile turret going down as well. Banes will just bust on through this. The SCVs that get pulled to defend are not going to have a great time. Hellbats disappearing. And I guess the idea is just to get rid of the Hellbats so that the Lings and the 4 Roaches can kind of deal with the 4s. But the 4s are going to turn the mutas away. There's tanks now sieging up. 10 workers killed, but by no stretch of the imagination was this game-ending damage done by Guru. As he just rebuilds. Now he's going into Swarm Hose, which is a bit more of a common European-based playstyle when coming to play against mech, and it's a way in which you can hold off that mech army for a long, long time. You can get good, powerful counterattacks going as well. So, setting up into this at the moment. Also going to be seeing a few of these swarmers up to the top side, and Lings and Roaches coming around through the center and over to the left, so looking to again attacking a couple different locations. And this could be actually problematic. BratOK doesn't really have anything set up at all to the right-hand side for the natural, so as SCVs pull forwards, that's not where they want to be at all. I think he just wants to try and make sure he doesn't lose the armory or something while it was still upgrading. The armory does now go down. Obviously, the one problem of this for Guru is that now his Stronghosts are on cooldown. They're not going to be ready again for a little while. And that does give BratOK a little time to set up defenses and get ready and maybe even push himself into a better position to deal with that in the future. So here we go. BratOK kind of, well, trying to move down the ramp. Guru's thinking about fighting. He doesn't know whether he wants to. Banes are going to go off on the first 4s. I mean, this is like the opposite of efficient, but he's going to keep on trying to fight. And in the end, I mean, maybe Guru just has too much. Locust will pop on up. Only a few of them. Actually going to maybe keep some to fight the army that maybe starts to move across the map now. And it doesn't take that many to force the SCVs to pull away. You can see already here, 8 workers killed. Guru is already doing good damage. And, well, it's just making BratOK think twice about maybe continuing to push forwards while also still keeping a good amount of Locusts available if this push does indeed come forward. So, good kind of decision making or set of decisions here by Guru to make the most of this and still displaying Ling, Bane, Roach, Swarm Host. I mean, what a weird composition against Mech. The Banelings especially, but he's keeping on going for them, and he's going to use them right here. He's really this sort of style that just says, I'm ahead, and so I can trade badly. And that's exactly what he's kind of doing, but it's working because he is ahead and has been from the early stages after those Lings shut down a lot of SCVs in the natural. This time he completely destroys this GG from BratOK, and Guru takes the 3rd game to advance on through to the round of 16 of today's WCS European Challenger Qualifier number 1.